So today I'm excited to be having a fun discussion with a thriving sister. We are looking at why social wellness matters in today's digital age. And joining us today is
Hi.
Hi. Oh, please, I'll be calling her Dr. AJ, okay? Even though I know that she is on track to becoming a doctor. Please, where is my thing? Ah, I have this nice picture I'm coming to show off. Oh, look at the picture. The picture doesn't look even.
you know,
Hey.
they would take these days.
Oh, doctor, forgive me. But she is a thriving friend. We've had her on the Thriving Generation YouTube channel before, and I'm excited to bring her here. I see how she makes an effort to connect with the society, and she has been abroad for a while, but she's so in touch with her family. It's such a beautiful thing to see when she's connecting with her mom, her sisters, and her younger brother. It's just beautiful, and I thought we could all learn something from each other. It's not perfect, but what can we do? But anyway, I could only put PhD student there, but I do know that you are wearing multiple hats. So can you go ahead and introduce yourself to the thriving generation? Then we'll move on from there.
Okay, so everyone calls me AJ currently. My name is AJ Wa. I am a doctoral student at IU, like Dr. G pointed out, but I'm also a doctoral intern at the Kennedy Krieger Institute, affiliated with Johns Hopkins, and I do um, parent behavior training in a clinic, a pediatric developmental disorders clinic.
I see. Hey, dog. This your bro friend house following us like a sheep. Okay, I got John Hopkins in there. Okay, and then what else? Hey, doctor.
So Kennedy Krieger Institute is it's also like a hospital. So we do lots of behavioral therapy, but there's other areas like there's a clinic for animal assisted therapy. I know nothing about it. So yeah, all I'm just like a small cog in the wheel in the behavioral psych department. I'm just an intern in their clinic for pediatric developmental disabilities.
I wish I could believe that you are the small whatever you are saying. Please, you're a big fish. We won't mind you. But look, today we are talking about social wellness. We are talking about how we can maintain healthy relationships all around us. So, I mean, you are my thriving friend. I know that you are doing very well. Please tell us, why is it important to develop healthy relationship with others?
I'm just going to speak from personal
Of
experience.
course, yes.
And I will say that for me, developing relationships has really transformed situations that could have ended kind of badly. I'm gonna first like moving here. Dr. G, you didn't even know me, but you're one of the first people to receive me. I feel like other people in the Ghanaian community in Bloomington were very like, open arms and just forming those relationships. Like it's been 5 years now, but I feel like they add so much value to my life. But also just thinking about my family back home. The beauty of social media is I woke up to the news this morning that my sister just had her baby, and I was able to
Congratulations.
so I was able to see the picture of the baby, find out how mommy and baby are doing. So just keeping those relationships going, it adds, like now I go into my day excited because there's a new member of my family. And that wouldn't have happened if I wasn't in touch with them, if I wasn't still, constantly going on. Like, I mean, now I'm waiting on the official name, but we know that's Oyefia, So
Mm,
um, I feel like that's why it's important because of how much those relationships enrich our lives.
I see. I see. That's wonderful. And congrats, Auntie AJ.
Thank you.
You should send the baby a gift. Eh?
But yeah.
I appreciate that you shared from a personal perspective. There are multiple definitions I've come across, and I want us to look at this one that says social wellness is related to healthy relationships with friends, family, and the community. And you did mention community in your experience. You did mention family in your experience, and they also talk about having an interest in and concern for the needs of others and humankind. Doc, from your personal experience, what would you say about this?
I mean, I feel like I'm just gonna go back to that first, couple months of when I moved here. And if people like you and other people from Ghana that lived there didn't have an interest in humankind and the needs of others, my first few months would have been a very different experience. But I literally had, someone show up with a rice cooker. I had you take me to the grocery store. Like it's the
Doc,
little
please, I don't
things.
remember. Stop that.
You
There.
better remember, but it's those little things, those little things. Just having an interest in someone else, like just we never know what someone else is going through.
Yeah.
So having an interest in someone else, paying some attention to their needs, like just anticipating, even like, oh, she's moving here, she's not going to know where the grocery store is. Okay, let's drive into the grocery store.
Yeah.
It may seem like a little thing at the time, but it can make such a big difference in the lives of others.
Yeah.
So from personal experience, I think that's something that we really need to pay attention to.
Yeah, I think we sometimes underestimate how much impact we can make with some of these little things. When somebody moves into a new space, what can you do to support the person? Not much, not much. I mean, if you buy me a car, I'll love it, but that's not how.
It's
Sometimes
coming.
it's coming there.
It's
I
coming. What model do you
sometimes
want?
Ooh. Which one is expensive? If you are going, we have to go big.
Yeah,
So
so yeah, come big or go home.
go big, go huge. But anyway, it could just be taking the person for lunch. It could just be what are some of the simple things showing the person around town so that life could be a little bit easier for the person? I really wanted to have this conversation with you because you've lived in multiple places. You schooled in the UK and then moved to the US, and even within the US now you're in a different state from the one you originally moved to. So how can you compare some of these differences and the impact they made on your life?
Yeah, so I think the UK was a very different experience because my mom has some family that lives there and I could spend my breaks with them. And I didn't really think about how much that makes a difference in terms of like what your breaks look like, right? Because over here, like usually when it's Christmas, like people are very well meaning and they say, AJ, like, what are you doing for Christmas? And then I say, oh, maybe I'm spending it alone. And like, oh, you don't have to, you can come spend it with me and my family. And it's a great invitation. And yeah, I take people up on it. But it's obviously not the same as when I lived in England and I could just spend Christmas with, my aunt's family.
Okay.
And wake up in the morning to her beautiful cooking. It's also not the same as when I was home with my own nuclear family. So I feel like it's just the the communities that you get, they're all great and they support you in different ways. It's just you can tell like there's different layers to it, if that makes sense.
I like that. I like that. Thanks for sharing, though. So I actually also wanted to hit a little bit on what international students may go through when they move into different communities. AJ, it's not easy. It's not easy at all. And you talking about holidays, I noticed that during the last Thanksgiving that there were several international students who have nowhere to go. They are just there, and then there are others who also don't have anywhere to go during Christmas. But how have you experienced anything where not necessarily in person, maybe somebody is saying, I'm shy, I don't want to be getting into other people's businesses? Are there some ways where we can connect with others, family, friends, without necessarily feeling like we are getting into people's business or we are intruding?
Yeah. I think this is the beauty of living in the age that we do, right? I love that, on Christmas Day, I could do like a video call with my entire family. So even though I was here and it was like I was alone, I still got to have that community because I could insist and be like, no, we're doing a video call, even though we're all in different time zones.
Mhm.
We're doing a video call at this time. And I think that that's some of the ways that we can capitalize on the resources that we have access to now.
Mhm.
So even if you can't go in someone's, like you don't want to go in someone's personal space, can you arrange maybe like a Zoom dinner date or
Mhm.
Zoom lunch? One of my friends and I, she lives in South Carolina. I live here. We get together once a month and we just have drinks on Zoom and catch up on what our life is. And that makes such a difference because I feel like I know what's going on with her, even though I haven't seen her in a while.
That's nice. That's really nice. After the call, I'll get the details on the friend. What kind of friend? And I need all the information. I'll go ahead to share this with you, dog. This definition I really appreciate. It says social wellness is building and engaging in trusting, respectful, and authentic relationships. I've seen several kinds of relationships. I cannot say that they are all authentic. I cannot say that they are all respectful. Have you had any experience where you had to withdraw from some relationships because they were not healthy, they were not respectful?
Yeah. I mean, as human beings, not everyone won't like us and we won't like everyone, right?
Yeah.
Like it's just a natural part of life. But I think the biggest for me was leaving the church I was part of when I lived in Bloomington,
Mm,
because I realized that the impact it was having on me was not healthy. Like it got to the point where it felt like I was feeling pressure to impress like the leadership as opposed to like being worried about whether God was impressed with me. And by that I mean, like I was trying my best and making time for it when I could, but then I was still getting the, oh, you need to make more time for God, and it was like physically just impossible, right? And so that there was that added stress
mm,
of making sure that they think that I'm making time, like they see visibly that I'm making time when I knew in my personal relationship that I was. So at an institutional level, I feel like that was it. But then I've also had friends who felt like um, their perception of our friendship wasn't the same as mine, and that just led to disruption of the friendship. And it's unfortunate, and forever we'll regret those losing those relationships. But at the same time, like everyone's in your life for a season, and you really have to enjoy them while they're there. And then if they're no longer there, you're thankful for the value that they added, but you recognize like it's time to move on.
yeah. Yeah, it can be hurtful to walk away from some relationships, but it's okay to move on. It's okay to run away before some relationships destroy your life. That is amazing. But thinking about your personal life, the multiple countries you've been on, how have you been thriving? Genuinely, people want to connect. People want to do well socially. You have a lot going on. You're a full-time student. You are doing an internship. How are you able to balance the whole life thing? I know it won't be perfect, but you talked about your family. I know you are very well connected with your family for that, yes. But aside family connection, how can we also get involved in our communities and with other people, new people we don't know?
Yeah. So I think this year when I was moving here for the internship, one of the things I said I was going to prioritize was being social. So I said to the other interns, I've decided that this year I'm saying yes to social things. So every weekend I try to, besides doing my writing for my dissertation, make time to do at least one social thing. But then also when I moved here, I went and found where the library was because I find that the library can be a great place to meet
Mm,
people if you're interested in books like me, if you're a nerd. I haven't had as much time to go there as I would like since I moved here, but just knowing that I have that resource and I get like newsletters occasionally about events that they're having. So that can be another way to kind of find out about what's going on in the community. And then I've joined like the neighborhood groups for where I live. So occasionally I can see, oh, there's going to be this event like super close to me. I could walk to it. And then in those ways, I'm able to, branch out and meet new people, but then at the same time, be able to keep up with the different aspects of my life. And I'm not saying it's perfect. Like there's some weeks when I'm like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have been this social when I have so much work to do. But then those things also bring fulfillment, right? Like you go into the week, feeling like you've taken a break from the pressures of your working life. So that's how I've been doing it for the most part.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much. We appreciate this insight. And then we hope that our thriving friends listening to you will take a nugget from that and, try not to be isolated. Try not to just be. Depression is rising and rising and rising. And some of these things can really help. Dr. AJ. And I don't know when I started calling you Dr. AJ, but now I can't even reverse. I'm just waiting for next year, then I'll come for the graduation and it will be official. Uh-huh. But AJ just shared with us just being conscious and saying that this year, this is what I will do. So just decide that you will do something. Doc, before you go, I'm going to show you my picture.
Okay.
Hey,
Mhm.
see me.
Oh,
Share.
no.
I went to town. Just
Listen,
with
nobody does it
I
better.
was so shy.
Nobody does it better. Dog.
But I know one of the ladies in the picture, and her husband has a band, which is the one behind the picture.
No
Kenny's Classic. It's
way.
beautiful. They play these old timers songs, and we went there. She's like, just come and wear the skirts. Let's go and dance. I have a child sleeping in the car. Okay, husband, I'll be right back. I'll be
Love
but
it.
just being conscious. Almost every time there's something social going on, I also have something else, a reason not to go.
Yeah.
But making that conscious effort that I want to do this, I want to be a part of this, will be great. So, Doc, I'm going to let you go in the next minute. Any final words for your thriving friends before you go?
I say don't beat yourself up about what you're able to do, and by that I mean like sometimes we can also get caught up. Like if you're like, oh, I this year I want to be social, and then life circumstances don't permit it, then we start to feel bad for not being able to do the things that we said. So I think being giving yourself some grace and then recognizing like, am I doing the best I can at this given time? And if the answer is yes, then be okay with that.
Yeah.
Is what my thinking is.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We wish you the very, very best. Continue to thrive. Okay, thriving friends, that was amazing. We thank AJ for her time. She has an appointment soon, so she has to go. But we are going to continue with our conversation briefly before we get offline. So we've been working with this definition, and I will share with you. There are several definitions for social wellness. The first one we looked at was this lovely one, which says social wellness involves healthy relationship with friends, family, and community. And then the second part talks about having an interest in and concern for the needs of others and mankind. This week, even if we don't learn anything, we should know that we can have concern for the needs of others. What can you do in your own small corner? And I like using small corner because sometimes we are thinking too big. We think that we have to do something mighty, or we have to be in a great company to make an impact, or we have to join a non-profit organization to make an impact. No, wherever you are, whichever city you are in, whichever town you are in, you can do something to make an impact in somebody's life. You can connect, you can also give. Okay. If you have children who have moved on to a certain age, you don't need their clothing anymore. Is there somebody around who could benefit from those clothing? Please give them out. All right. So then the other definition I want us to look at before we hop off will be social wellness being building and engaging in trusting, respectful, and authentic relationships. Please, as we go on, let us know that it's okay to walk away from relationships that are not beneficial to us. It's okay to walk away from relationships that are hurting you. It's okay to walk away from relationships that are draining. So, the first definition, we are going to care for our community, we are going to do things for people. But this time round, this second definition, I love that it's about us, it's about you and I, and how we can thrive as people. Look around you, look at the relationships you are in. It's okay to walk around away, sorry, not around. Maybe you can walk around and see if it will change, but it's okay to walk away from relationships that are not beneficial. And please make an effort to also build some good connection around you. Make sure you have good friends around you. Make sure you have somebody you can call on when you're in trouble. Do not stay by yourself and be depressed. Do not hide your problems. We all have problems. The fact that I'm not talking about mine doesn't mean my life is perfect. So whatever you are going in, if going through, sorry, if you have a trusted friend, make use of the person. If you have a trusted community, make use of the community. If you don't have, then let this be the day one that you start searching for people to build a relationship with. I am away from home, but I do have a prayer group that we meet every lunch. I'm not able to join every lunch, but we are connected every single day of the week. I also have other friends I connect to on WhatsApp, group. There are different groups here and there, so you get a little bit of fun from here, you get a little bit of seriousness from here, you get a little bit of spiritual wellness from here, just trying to make sure that you are connected. And the picture I was sharing with AJ before she left, I'll just show that to you right now. It's my local community. We try, my husband and I just try to get involved in things that we like. And this is music. We love music. So when there is something going on, we try to just get involved. So I'll just encourage you, wherever you are, whatever your interest is, please find something to get involved in. Just do something. Don't get isolated, don't get depressed, don't belittle yourself. Don't think that you are the only one with problems in the world. Let people not start telling you their problems you can bear, but try and enrich your life in all these dimensions we are talking about. I appreciate you. Be well, thrive holistically. Take care.